Good evening, I am Frosty Dave. This week on Revolt the Wars, we are live at the Peasants' Revolt. See Mr. Watt and Mr. Tyler face up with the Lord and the King. Here it is live on PBS. Keep watching.
Hello England, friends. Things cannot go on well in England, nor ever will until everything shall be in common. When there shall be neither vassal nor lord, and all distinctions levelled. When the Lord shall be no more masters than ourselves. When Adam delved and Eve spanned, who was the gentleman? From the beginning all men by nature were created alike, and our bondage or servitude came in by the unjust oppression of naughty men. For if God would have had any bondman from the beginning, he would have appointed who should be bond and who free. How ill they have used us. They have wine, spices, and fine bread, when we have only wine and refuse of fine straw. And if we drink, it must be water. They have handsome seats and manners, when we brave the wind and rain in our labours in the field, but it is from our labour they have the wherewith to support their pomp. Let us go to the King, who is young, and remonstrate with him on our servitude, telling him we must have it otherwise, or that we shall find a remedy for it ourselves. And thereby exhort you to consider now that the time is come, appointed to us by God, in which we may, if ye will, cast off the yoke of bondage and recover liberty.
Yeah. What does it mean to you that the Lords have tried to reinstate their power and limit your wealth?
After the great pestilence, the whole country had changed structure. Previously found in the country, I've gone to attempt to reimpose them is impossible. But what greatly angers me is the Church's approval and impression of us, the peasantry.
The Church's hypocritical attitude has continued to impact us and affects all the lanes, regardless of wealth. How long must this continue before we act?
In the next few weeks, we must not allow German government to continue in these treacherous ways.
It is the corruption in the royal government that taxes so heavily, and they claim we do not pay the poll taxes, but the poor cannot afford the extortionate rate of our monthly wage.
Cheer up, we'll get through this. Or do you feel a revolt is imminent?
Revolt is necessary to rid ourselves of the bonds of village and serfdom.
Woo!
Why are you marching down to London?
I'm against all these poll taxes. They take my money. I need that money to buy ale. Why are you marching to London?
With the amount the Lord has me working, I barely have time to go to church. I need to pray for a good harvest for my wife's get heaven.
Fair dues. They're trying to reassert their powers on us and increase serve our Lady. I already work for the Lord's land 3 days a week. Why should we work for so long on so little pay?
Aye, these wages the Lord's been paying me are the same as before the Black Death. I should be getting more money for my work, not less.
Yep. All these taxes as well. We are paying for wars. It's a waste of money and it's mismanaged by King Richard's stupid advisors.
I hear they're keeping it for themselves and using it on their palaces.
Yeah, well it wouldn't surprise me that war with the French is not going very well, and I've been wondering why not, considering the amount of money that's supposed to be going into it.
I think the best outcome right now would be to get the law of Winchester. I agree with what Tyler fully. In fact, if it was not for him and the Smithfield petition, I probably would not be marching down to London.
Aye, to London.
Because like it wasn't because you were trying to get it. What's the right? Are you sure something that shows you take down the king?
Hello, Tyler. Today I'm on the ground with the peasantry, finding out their reasons for revolting. I've managed to get to speak to Wat Tyler, one of the revolt leaders. I've taken up my hose to march. Hashtag player. Now why is that? To gain freedom and power for the peasantry. How do you plan to do that?
We plan to march to Smithfield to demand our rights directly from the King himself. Hashtag radical.
What a rebel. What do you hope to achieve from it?
To end feudalism, villanage, episcopal hierarchy, the unjust taxation system. We fight to gain equality for the lower ranks of society. Yeah!
Good luck with that, What Tyler.
He's first with the pub.
Yeah.
Hear ye, be you peasant, elite, villain, labourer, or mere alewife. Join us, daughters and sons of Adam and Eve. We are to meet with the King. We shall have our justice, our voices will be heard. No more unjust poll tax, no more corrupt commissioners. Let us fight for justice and what is right. Join us, brave rebels of Kent and Essex, and support our brave leader, Wat Tyler. All new additions will receive ale and fresh loaves from me and my husband in our fine alehouse.
Hello, visitors of the alehouse. So, why are you angry? What's all this rioting about?
The statute of labour is breaking the statute of Winchester law.
I'm angry because I liked our self-policing, and now these new commissioners are policing everything.
Yeah, and the statute of labour is trying to bring our wages back down to pre-Black Death rates, and it's not even barely cope.
Yeah, the poll tax is way too expensive, and I can't afford to pay it because I'm supporting my family.
Yeah, it's just not on.
No.
What about the church? Is the church doing anything to help you?
The church aren't doing anything.
No, like absolutely nothing.
Are you church goers?
Yeah, like we are massive churchgoers, and it's just not on, right? They're only interested in bringing in their own feudal Jews or whatever.
Okay, thank you. And now to Thea down in London. Here with Thea down in London, interviewing the King.
Dear King, how are you feeling with this tragedy?
Well, dear, I'm very excited to see what the rebels have to say.
How are you going to react?
Well, I don't know yet, but my good Uncle John promised me some nice dessert if I was nice to the rebels, so I'm looking
Would you
forward.
say he's supporting you? Good.
Who, my Uncle John?
Yes.
Ah, yes, of course, dear. He's supporting me very well, indeed.
Have you heard of the news of the prison outbreak?
Oh my goodness, no. This is news to me, Thea.
Oh dear. I hope God's on your side. Do you think he's on your side?
Of course he is. I was appointed by divine approval.
Divine approval?
Yes.
I hope that nothing gets worse. Aren't you scared to confront these rebels?
No, dear reporter.
What if you get killed?
I shall not be killed. I am the son of God.
You have God on your side. Back to the Essex.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to That Was the Revolt That Was. I'm here today with Merrick and Lord Robert of Warwick, and we are live at the Peasants' Revolt. So firstly, I'll start with you if you don't mind. Why are you personally here today, and what do you hope to achieve?
I hope for lower rates, I do indeed.
And what's your response to this?
By God's given seigneurial rights, we refuse your disgusting attempt to try and get higher rents because it is wrong.
That's what you always say, my lord. You never do it well.
Gentlemen, do you believe that it's fair then to say that feudal dues are too high?
No.
Well, they are. They are indeed, my lord.
Well, I would have to respectfully, which is something you might not understand as a labourer, disagree with you because of my beliefs.
Right, hang on, moving on now. What do you personally, Mr. Merrick, if I don't mind asking, what do you personally hope to achieve here today?
Lower rates, get rid of that merchant stuff. I've got to sell my daughters.
So is this merely a personal reaction against the Lord or against the King himself?
Oh, the King? I'm not committing treason. It's the Lord that should be locked up. The King understands the people. He will support us.
Lord Robert, you recently just claimed in this interview that because Mr. Merrick was a peasant, he wouldn't know the extent of the problems. However, we've been out on the field today and there's a vast amount of craftsmen and artisans here today as well. So how do you explain this response?
I would say that... Cut just briefly.
Welcome back to That Was the Revolt That Was. I'm Frosty Dave, and since our last outing, we've been actually joined by one of the peasants himself in the studio.
It's my son!
It's a bloody hunchback.
Going back to you, Lord Robert, so how do you explain this then?
I've been out in the fields myself, Frosty, and I have spoken with these peasants and these artisans, and a lot of them, despite your claims, sir, don't actually think that they're in, us lords are in the wrong, because you've all been sort of rioting and complaining, but a lot of people just don't appear to be...
Following this line of thought, actually, we have information that your children are capable to work themselves. So what kind of grounds do you have to be here today to say that?
Where's that coming from? What's the problem with my children working?
Well, I mean, if your children and your family are capable to work and actually take advantage of your economic opportunities, what right do you have to complain?
I've got no economic opportunities. He won't let me out to the manor.
Also, the way of things have been like this for hundreds of years. Why now should you get anything better?
Because that's what everyone else is getting.
You just complained about Lord Robert's refusal to allow you off the manor. So by that logic, the poll tax isn't the main incentive for your being here today. Excuse me. The poll tax is not the main incentive.
I'm here because Mr. Ball and Mr. Tyler said so.
Speaking of Mr. Ball and Mr. Tyler, what's your opinion of them?
They're great men. They're honourable men. They're great men. They're better than any other man except maybe the king.
How do you respond to this?
They're thieves, uprisers, and what they're doing is wrong, and it's against the king, which is treason.
This isn't treason, we're petitioning the king.
There is a difference between petitioning and rioting.
Gentlemen, I'm afraid our time is up. Thank you very much. That was the week that was this week. I'm Frosty Dave. Next week we're live from Concord in America. We'll be talking to Paul Revere. See you then. Goodbye.